So I want to hear about, go back to your upbringing. What made, Erik who he is, and tell me about, how you grew up, and you probably grew up with a boatload of money. Somebody just said, hey, little Erik, here's a few $1 million, get started on your way, right? I'm sure that.
Yeah, I did get the Donald Trump loan. What was that? A small family loan for, was it 65 million? I think it was. No, so for me, I mean, I've done some real estate. So it's kind of analogy is, it seems like for me, I started by digging a hole. If you build a building, you dig a hole to start it with, and you kind of going the wrong direction. That's kind of how life started, because you may tell I still have a little bit of a stutter, but at age 5, I was in a car wreck and I lost the ability to speak for a couple of days, and it was very traumatic for me. So I would end up, took me a couple of days to tell the teacher my name. And I don't know what it is about people who stutter, but it's always like your name's like the hardest thing to say. Like Erik Weir was like, it was horrible. But I went to speech therapy, and at age 5, they said, you need to sell lemonade. Get a lemonade stand, put it in front of your house, and that would be the way to go. So my parents are pretty excited about that. So we set a lemonade stand up, and I'm like, I stutter. So I want a sign. So I made a sign that had 50 cents, and I had it up there, had everything ready to go with lemonade to sell, and had change so I could make change for $1. And I'm sitting there, and people go, almost everybody, I don't know why it is, you've got a sign. I was hoping just for direct commerce. Here's 50 cents. I pour the lemonade, done deal. They always had to ask me, hey, how much is it? Or how'd you make it? And how much is it? I'm like, really? So I'm pointing. And I'm like, because F's are hard, man. They're hard. I'm like, 50 cents. Look at how'd you make it? I'm like, you thinking to myself, really? Really? You're asking how I made it? So I'm like, water and powder, So, but what I found out is, man, stuttering was awful at school. But I never got 50 cents. When people would like toss a 5 at me, I'm like, $5? This is awesome. I'm taking this show on the road. So I go inside. My parents are like, man, how'd you do it? I'm like, I $80, man. First M5 is 1972. Made $80 cash. My dad's like, wow, I think you did better than I did today. So I'm like, the next day they go out, and I got home early, I'm so jacked up, right? So I go out the next day and I set up another lemonade stand. Only this time I didn't realize about the plastic cups that Mom had. I used our glassware, so I'm using glassware, right? So, my customers, they were really, I guess they're impressed with the upgrade, But they didn't give the glasses back, so they just drove off with them, right? So we get home, my parents are setting up the kitchen table, and they're like, hey, we're so happy for your big sales today. Where are all the glasses? And I said, I sold them all. So I learned about cost of goods sold that day, because
so you had $80 in sales the next day, but you had like $90 in cost.
Yeah, I had some cost of sales I didn't really expect. Yeah, because my parents weren't killing it in business, so $80. Although I was a fat target after selling all their glassware. So that's kind of how I got started, right? And then it went from like, you couldn't give me a Christmas present, I wouldn't sell it at school. So pretty much that candy, anything. And as I grew up, I started cutting grass. Then I realized I had a lawn allergy, so I kept doing it because I paid well. I charged $15 for grass cutting, and I found neighborhood kids that I could get them to cut it for $5, and it was kind of fun because their parents were like, I'm sure glad Johnny's getting industrious. Cutting grass for this other kid, making $5 too. And I said, you just got to use your own lawnmower and gas, but I'm pretty sure I'd get you a gig at $5. So I'd spend my days going around getting neighborhoods, to sign up, and I recruit kids to cut grass for me.
So you're a general contractor, a neighborhood general contractor at what? How old?
Yeah, that's what I did. Was a neighborhood general contractor, but I think the labor laws I was violating. I had younger kids, and if they didn't do the work, I was pretty aggressive. Cut the grass. Good job. Reputation mattered. I knew that.
Wait. So how old were you then as a general?
I was like 11, 12. I started with like a real mower, and I could hardly push it, So I ended up, using my dad's mower and getting other kids to use their dad's mowers, and And then I ended up hooking up with a home builder, had subdivisions. So then I would like cut their lawns, their model homes for a while.
What'd your workers' compensation insurance look like back then?